They have hundreds of different gods. The answer, the Rambam explained the whole secret of idol worshipping. The Rambam say in the beginning, people knew that Hashem made the world. There's one God. He made heaven and earth. He made the stars. And as a result of that, He gave power to the stars to run the show. What we call today horoscope. Every month with his mazal, with his fortune. And not only that, that since it goes by the sun and the moon and the movement of the stars, because of that, right, so we have to respect the sun and the moon and the stars, because they are the generals of God of running the world. They're managing the world. So if God has a representative, we have to respect the representative just like we also respect him, right? If Mr. Bill Gates will bring a manager to Microsoft and he say, he is my right-hand man, he is running the show here from now on, then anyone would dare to mess with this manager? Messing with him is messing with Mr. Gates. You're going to have a serious problem. Messing with the sun and the moon and all the stars that are in charge of what's happening here, who's going to live and who's going to die, all the things. So they actually worship the stars, but not because they thought the stars is God. Only because God gave power to the stars. But after few generations, the Rambam explained, after 3, 4, 5, 10 generations, the further they went away, the more they started to actually worship the stars like the God. One time I asked a question, what is really worse? Let's think together. You have two friends. One friend is a total atheist, doesn't believe in a creator, doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in morality, ethics, nothing. Live and let live. Do whatever you want, just don't get caught. Leave me alone, don't preach to me, I'm not interested, there's no one here, we came from an explosion, everything is random. A typical atheist. And then you have your other friend that is searching for God. He doesn't know about the Torah, he's not aware of the Torah. So he's searching for God in the world. And then he look up to the sky and he see a huge ball of fire, the sun. Huge ball of fire. And right away, with his common sense, he thought, this is God. Who else can it be? Remember, he doesn't know yet the 13th principle of Judaism, that God doesn't have an image and all that. Right now, all he cares about is to search for God, and he has to be something real that we can see. So he bows down every day to the sun and he talks to the sun, dear God, thank you for everything you're doing for me. I want to get married, I want to have children, I appreciate what you do. Please get rid of all the bad people who murder and do all bad things. He prays to the sun every day. And your other friend, the atheist, doesn't pray, doesn't care, doesn't say thank you, nothing whatsoever. Who do you think is worse? My opinion, the atheist is 1,000,000 times worse. 1,000,000 times worse. There's nothing even to compare. But what can I say that the Torah say, which one of the two deserves death penalty? The one who bowed down to the sun. The Oved Kochavim. Even if he's a goy, it's against the 7 law of Noah. Even the Gentiles are not allowed to worship idols, which makes a lot of Christian people in a very, very big problem when they die, because they break one of the 7 laws directly with their religion. They made God a son, another entity. And the 10 Commandments, it warned, don't ever dare to make any other authority besides me. Not brother, not son, not wife, nothing. There's one and only one, and that's what the Torah constantly repeats non-stop. Many Christians obviously live with this problem. I get thousands of emails from them every year. It always bothers me how our religion contradicts the 10 Commandments. How we have all these things? We argue who was JC and all these things. It never made sense to me. Thank God I found you and I listened to it. Now I know I was right all along. In less than a minute he leaves this religion. He doesn't need more than a minute. All he needed is someone to tell him you were right. You were right, not the one that gave you his, preachers and all that. But let's go back to what we started. So the Rambam says that later on they forgot about Hashem and they started to focus on the sun and the moon. Same thing the Goyim who worship the animals. It looks much more foolish than what it really is. They think that God needs to come into something materialistic, something physical, something real, and from that something he is connecting to the material world. We live in a world of material. The spirituality in this world is hidden. You can't even prove the soul exists in 5 senses that God made us. We cannot smell the soul, we cannot see it, we cannot touch it, we cannot hear it, we cannot taste it. So obviously the soul is a spiritual divine image. We have no idea how to prove it besides common sense. We cannot prove God exists with the 5 senses. Everything spiritual in this world is 100% hidden. So people have very difficult time communicating with the hidden thing. I want to worship God, but I want to worship Him through something that I can see and touch and smell. And that's the whole concept here of Avodah Zarah. They believe in one God, many of them. They believe that God made heaven and earth. But they want to worship Him while He's inside the cow, or the golden calf, or the goat, or the sun, or whatever it is. That's the whole idea of Avodah Zarah. Add on top of it that many of them were expert in kishufim, in black magic. It's very, very convincing. You throw thousands of earrings into the fire, shh, hocus pocus, he came out and he begins to move. I am your God, of course. Tell me what's the difference technically between this and God speaking to Moshe Rabbeinu from the burning bush. Burning bush is also physics. The burning bush is burning, but is not getting destroyed. And Hashem said to Moshe, take your shoes off, the place where you're standing is holy. What makes the place holy? It's sand. What's special? So, sand is the same sand everywhere you go. Same sand. Some sand is holy, some sand is not holy. What made the sand holy? It's inside Bet HaMikdash, it's holy. It's inside Kodesh HaKodashim, it's holy. It's under the Mizbeach, it's holy. It's the bush is burning, the place became holy. Why? The Shekhinah of Hashem came down.